Welcome to the Gospel According to podcast, the first and only podcast looking at the intersection of pop culture and the Christian faith. I'm Dan Ulrich, joined as always by my co-host. You may know him as the guy telling you to fall for Jesus because he never leaves you. That's Dave.
Yes, it is me. Always time for puns, and fall is no exception. So, yes, Jesus will never leave you.
That's right. We are at the Gospel According to in our autumn era.
Yes.
We did fantasy football, hiking. Great to go on a hike in the brisk air. If you haven't listened to that with John Chafee, make sure you go back and listen to that. Now, today, we are looking at the Gospel According to pumpkins.
Pumpkin. Yeah,
Pumpkins.
I like it. Pumpkins. If that's not enough fall for everyone, do just want to send you back to last fall when we did Halloween, we did Harry Potter, which has, for some people, I think that's a Christmas thing, but at least in the Hallahan household, that's a fall thing for us. And then we also did E.T., which takes place around Halloween. So we have some other fall
Stranger
episodes.
Things.
Stranger Things, yes. We didn't actually do that in the fall, but definitely strong fall vibes. So you can go check out Stranger Things episode as well. So yeah, we are your one-stop shop for pop culture and Christianity, and also your one-stop shop for fall.
Yeah.
We've got whatever we just listed off, 8, 9, 10 episodes, whatever. So go listen to those. I've already derailed the episode already by doing that. So I'm just going to keep going. And Dan, you're an official podcaster now.
I am.
You had a dream about podcasting.
I had a dream, Dave.
Tell them about the dream, Dan.
It was a nightmare.
What happened?
Not a good dream.
Microphones attacking you, 1-star ratings. What was it?
No, I had this nightmare that there was another podcast that started talking about Christianity and pop culture. I was like, no, we're the only one. No, sir. I had a nightmare that it was like we were podcasting. I was sitting in this seat. You were there on the screen, and we had a guest on the screen as well. And everybody was just like looking at me through the screen, waiting for me to ask questions or talk about something. And I had prepared nothing, and it was just dead air. And I was like, oh man, I should have probably wrote something down or thought about this.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm going to take it as a good sign that it means that, we're in a groove. We enjoy podcasting, so our brain is thinking about it more often. But I do know when I worked in the restaurant industry, it was always a sign to me that I needed to like give away a shift or two when I would have dreams about being in the restaurant. I'm like, I'm working too much. Like I got to get this out.
But today, we still are the first.
Yes.
We still are the only podcast looking at Christianity and pop culture. In today's podcast, the Gospel According to Pumpkin, we have a sponsor. Today, we are brought to you by PDQ Restaurants, as Dave said, the real Lord's Chicken. PDQ. You could treat yourself today to a hand-spun pumpkin spice shake. And so we'll be giving away a $25 gift card to one lucky listener that sends us a screenshot of you giving us a 5-star rating and review. And we will pick one out and send you $25 so you can buy some chicken, you can buy some milkshakes, all good stuff.
Very good. Yeah. It'll take you less time to leave that 5-star rating than it will to get the PDQ handspun milkshake. But
right.
You'll get that milkshake faster from PDQ than you would from some other chicken restaurants
not a sponsor. The other ones
are not a sponsor and take a really long time. That's all I'm saying.
So Dave, we've kind of hinted around, you talked about our thing. Are you a fall guy?
I am. I have a theory that I'm working on. So before we get to that, Dan, what is your favorite season?
Oh, I am a transition season guy.
Okay.
So fall or spring, but I will lean to being spring.
Okay. Well,
Coming out of the doldrums of winter,
yeah.
especially baseball season, spring training started. So give me spring.
Okay, fair, and also ruins my theory, but that's fine. For you to be a positive reinforcement of my theory, you would have had to say winter. I think when your birthday is tends to be your people's favorite seasons. Anyway, fall's my favorite, and I was born in October, so I think that might be why. But I'm a warm blooded person, not just like all humans are, but like I am hot all of the time. I don't know what it's like to be cold. I hope to experience it one day. I'm
Mhm.
sure it'll be great. But I like a cool 60, 70 degrees. That's like the best temperature for me. So a spring 60, 70, you're hot and like the sweats are coming back out. But in the fall, the 60, 70 is like a nice transition away from the summer heat. So that's why I'm into fall. I also like I'm wearing my reddish flannel. I like the darker colors as well. So yes, I would consider myself a fall guy.
Fall guy. No, I meant, are you a fall guy? Like you'll take the blame for something? Because I just had a run in with the cops, and I needed to know if you'll be there
Oh
for
man.
me.
See, I last or 2 weeks ago or whatever, I prepared for the wrong Buffett. Yeah. I was pretty sure I had this one right, but I was wrong again.
Uh, so you say so you are a fall guy. You're an autumn lad. Are you in or out on pumpkin spice?
I actually prefer the term I'm a fallout boy, but whatever. Um, am I in or out on pumpkin spice? Uh, Generally out, but there are some people who are out and they're like haters.
Mhm.
They're like, why is everything got to be pumpkin spice? They're going too crazy with the pumpkin spice. I'm for it. Like if you like pumpkin spice, put it on everything. Like whatever. You want pumpkin spice oatmeal? Good for you. Go for it. You want pumpkin spice Twizzlers? Sure. Fine. Whatever. Who am I to say no to that? I mean, I would literally say no to that because I don't want any. But if you want it, that's fine. I like pumpkin flavored things. I'm not a coffee drinker, so like I'm out on pumpkin spice that way. But pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins. Like I'm into that kind of pumpkin.
This is a very reasonable take coming from the guy that was berating anybody that would eat mango and mango garbage pizza.
Yes, yes, boardwalk style pizza, you should be locked up. Straight to jail. Pumpkin
But
spice Twizzlers, sure.
live your life.
Who am I?
Yeah. So you mentioned one, but I think underrated fall treat is give me a slice of pumpkin bread,
Mm,
toast it up a little bit, put some softened cream cheese on it.
mm,
You're living your best life.
yes, yes. Yeah, no, I'm here for it. And for our listeners who are 21 and over, I enjoy pumpkin flavored beer as well. It's good. Uh, it's frustrating because here is the All right, you're ready for the hot take. Here's the hot take. You wanted it. Here it
All right.
comes. While I'm fine with you making whatever you want pumpkin spice, whatever you want, make a pumpkin spice. Wait until at least the unofficial start of fall, which is after Labor Day. Like this pumpkin stuff showing up in August, no. Like we need to stop that. That's when it's straight to jail. You're going to be sharing a cell with some guy who likes mango and mango pizza. And that is not what you want. I can tell you that for sure.
And
So,
with Josh Schuster and Chad Blatherwith doing their countdown to Christmas
yes.
in
Yes.
June.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm pro pumpkin flavored things. I have been known to actually buy, and maybe I'm part of the problem. I'll buy the pumpkin flavored beer just so I know I can have it in August, and then to like set it aside until it actually gets cold. Not the beer, the weather.
So you don't pop it out until you're not drinking it in the 85-degree
Correct.
weather.
Correct. And drink responsibly, folks. Thanks.
Of course, of course.
Of course. Of course.
So this is the first time I've been able to bring out my costume. here for those of you that are,
Oh,
uh,
is that a custom?
watching. Well, I mean, it's something that, I can only wear, like you said, you gotta wait until fall officially starts
Right.
so I can really start dressing. Um, but I haven't been able to wear this out in public, um, because people are talking.
Mm.
There'll be
What? Yeah. Why is
these
that?
side remarks to me that I can't wear my orange pumpkin
Mm.
fit, because people just keep coming up to me, and I don't know if you experienced this trying to buy your pumpkin beer, but they just want to know what's the gospel according to pumpkins.
Mm. Yeah, my family and I, we actually went to Johnson's Farm, not a
Not
sponsor,
not a sponsor.
and we went apple picking, and we drove by the pumpkin patch, and it had to be upwards of like 90% of the people in the pumpkin patch who were like, "Is that? Ta- Are you the
They're
guy?
they're
It's the
chasing the
guy!"
hayride.
And he started chasing after us,
They're
and they're like,
holding on
"We
to
need to know. We need to know what's the
tell
gospel
us.
according to pumpkins." Thankfully, the hayride didn't stop, so I didn't have to answer at the time.
Keep driving. Come on.
So it's given me some time to prepare an answer, which is why I have this perfect response, um, which is I don't know, Dan. I don't know what the gospel according to pumpkins is.
Well,
I was struggling. That's why I told the guy to keep driving. So you're wearing the costume. I feel like you're ready. So
okay.
you
Well,
tell me, what is the gospel according to pumpkins?
I think, can we move into the Bible breakdown? I think this will help you out, Dave.
Oh, I nothing would help me more than
And here comes the breakdown.
woo.
So we are in the pumpkin season, and if you've ever gone to church, you've ever participated in kids ministry, no doubt this time of year you've gotten maybe an object lesson about pumpkins.
Don't be
Um,
stressing.
yeah, we got object lesson. But here for the Bible breakdown, Dave, I wanted to see
Mm,
if we can take apart the pumpkin, if we can
okay.
deconstruct the parts of the pumpkin and see if we can do a feat that has not been completed since the Pastor Pals of 1979, when Aunt Ethel was in her prime.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. At that point, she was just Sister Ethel.
she wasn't known as Aunt Ethel yet. Sister Ethel was in her prime. She
Mm,
went back to back to back with this. But so I'm going to point out the different parts of the pumpkin and see if we can maybe glean the gospel from that or make an object lesson on the parts of the pumpkin for the little kids in the audience. All right.
okay. Yes.
So let's start easy, I
Okay.
think anyway. Give me object lesson on the stem of the pumpkin,
It is the stem that
right?
is connected to the vine.
The vine. Okay.
Yes. And so, uh, as Jesus says in John 15, he is the true vine and we are the branches. We are the stem. And while we take pumpkins and we decorate them, maybe use them as your backdrop while you're podcasting, put them on your front porch on a hay bale, and they might look pretty and nice for a little bit. They serve a purpose, but eventually they die and they rot, and they rot from the inside out,
Mm.
which, I'm just saying, maybe there's something there too. But the reason why they die slowly is because they're not connected to their life source. And so, like a pumpkin will not survive for long apart from the vine, we too are like this stem that, when taken apart from the vine, we can survive for a while. We may even look like we're doing a good job, but we're dying slowly from the inside out.
Very good. Yeah. So there's this connection that happens for growth of the pumpkin. All right. The next part we have uh, the uh, uh, the leaves of it. I mean, when you
Mm,
you cut the
mm.
pumpkin, it isn't there, but beforehand, when it is connected to the vine, like you're saying, there are these big leaves
Yeah.
um, that surround the pumpkin patch.
For me, what I think about with that is how life produces life, and like that is true of like humans, right? If you don't understand how humans are made, go talk to your mom and dad. This isn't that kind of podcast. But
When's that podcast drop?
the gospel according to the reproductive system. But it takes two lives to produce another life, right? But from like we produce life. That's what happens. But spiritually, I think that is applicable as well. That my those pumpkins that I use for decoration on my front porch, they've never sprouted leaves from their stem before because they're not connected to their life source. But when everything is connected to the life source, new life comes from that. And so I think when we are connected to our life source, we can't help but produce life. That is the fruit that we create. And when people come in contact with us, they see that, and I think it produces life in them as well.
Yeah, and the leaves spread out, and what do they get their energy from?
The sun.
The sun, sun, and when we spread out our metaphoric leaves that we could receive from the sun, son,
Mm,
uh,
mm, mm,
Jesus
mm.
Christ, and from that we will grow and produce fruit. The Bible talks about fruit according to its kind. That if we're receiving from Christ, from the Son, from God, we're going to produce fruit according to that, and be a blessing and be big and beautiful and orange, uh, like that. All right, next part of the pumpkin. Let's see if we can get through. Is the pumpkin seeds? You ever eat a
Huh.
pumpkin seed, Dave?
I don't know that I ever have actually eaten a pumpkin seed. Are they do they work like sunflower seeds? Do you gotta, like, break them open and there's something inside to eat them, or you just eat the pumpkin seed?
I think you eat them more like an almond, kind of. You roast them,
Okay.
put a little
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
seasoning on them. Yeah, I think you
Gotcha.
eat the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if I'm, allergic to them or not, but we can
Yeah, we're all wondering, Dave, what
we
you're
actually
allergic to.
we we will thank you for getting us over 1,000. We will do the mango test soon. All right. The seeds, I mean, I feel like I'm back to the beginning. Do you have something different here? Like, I just have, it produces life, you plant it, so on and so forth, but what do
I
you
think
got something else or
the gospel, the truth of planting seeds, the parables we have of the seeds where they land, well, what they'll grow, for that we're seeking to plant the seeds, and I think just the part of the gospel that is, um the relationship to the seed. We have the mustard seed things, and that is the miracle of everything that is needed for a pumpkin. You see, maybe, I don't know, preparing for this, I've the algorithm has picked it up, and I've been getting a lot of these huge pumpkin, like, reels of these
Okay,
people
yeah.
growing these, like, 600-pound pumpkins and things like that. But everything that was needed, all the information that was needed for that was found in the little seed that
Mm,
was planted by the farmer.
yeah,
And that seed of salvation that's planted into us, that seed of the Holy Spirit that is in us, that everything we need, um, for life, for righteous living. Everything is has been given to us from God.
yeah.
Uh,
No, that's good. I think that's a good, like, uh there are outsized results for small acts of love and faithfulness. I think that the seed is a good reminder of that, and also I think fall is it is a season of death. Like, I'm sorry to bring the podcast down here, but I think there's a lot of like death symbolism. Certainly when we get to like Halloween, um, but things are dying, right? Like, things are less green, your grass is turning brown, leaves are falling from the tree. Um, but even in the midst of that, the pumpkin seed specifically, and seeds in general, are a reminder that death brings life. That seed has to die for it to bring about the life of a pumpkin. And so, even in the midst of death, there are reminders that life comes from death. That death is for believers, death is not the end, but instead it's a new beginning.
Very good. All right, last one. Let's see if we can complete the clean sweep. We have the rind or the skin
Mm.
of the pumpkin.
Yeah. So here you can help me a little bit with this because I have like a life lesson. But I don't want to be one of those topical preachers. I don't want to get messages after this that are like, you didn't use the Bible. So I'm gonna we're workshopping together so that when I get behind the pulpit, I can have some scripture. But to me, especially when I think about a pumpkin, like the rind is pretty thick and it serves as like a protection for that life that it carries inside of it. And certainly, you can smash a pumpkin. There's a whole band dedicated to
That's all they talk about.
dedicated to it. But you can. I have dropped pumpkins, and they don't bruise or they don't split open because they have that thick skin and that thick rind. And I do think as believers, we need that as well. Think of a book that I really enjoyed called Unoffendable by Brant Hansen. Not a sponsor, but you should go purchase the book anyway. Uh, Talking about how we as Christians should be the most unoffendable people. So that thick skin idea comes to mind. I haven't reverse engineered it yet to get to the Bible. Can you help me with that?
Um, I think the whole just ways that we're supposed to interact with one another. Uh, the Paul, I believe, talking about that. Um, Put others before yourself. Do not think of yourself more
Mm,
highly than you ought, but that we're when we are established in our faith, when we are established in our identity in Christ as new creations, as Christians, that the the world around us shouldn't be able to penetrate us,
mm,
that we shouldn't allow the outside world to change our identity to, when we were talking about pumpkins rotting, that we shouldn't allow that to in us to penetrate us, because our identity is founded in Jesus Christ, is not found in the world. And so there's that protection of knowing who we are and whose we are, that will not allow ourselves to be offended, because we know that God loves us, and God loves the person that is, maybe seeking or not seeking to offend us or hurt us. But because we know who we are and where our foundation is, that those outside forces aren't going to allow us to, be changed. Think about Jesus in the desert being tempted. The devil brought half truths or lies or temptations, and Jesus responded, "It is written this," that he knew who he was.
mm,
He knew that he was the Son of God. He knew that he was beloved, because the verses right before that, when he's being baptized, God speaks from the and says, "This is my son who I love." And then a couple verses later, the devil, the enemy, Satan, goes into, "If you are the Son of God."
mm,
And it's
mhm.
like, hold up, like 40 days ago, I just heard this voice from heaven saying, "I am the
Right.
Son of God." And so knowing that it is written that I am beloved, that I am a son, I am a daughter of God, that we don't allow those lies to get into our stringy, orange, seedy, mushy insides.
Right, 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 right.
All right, I think we did it.
I think we did it. And Ethel, for once, will be proud of us.
Yes. So that was a 4 for 4. So if you need October, there's 4 Sundays left in October when you're listening to this. Um, you can use each one of those as a lesson for your kids. All right, you ready for a game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so this is our first ever of these, Dave.
Okay.
I am going to give you 5 things that you are going to rank 1 to 5, but you don't know which one comes next.
Oh, okay. So I got it.
You're
Yep.
you're blindly going to rank these 5 pumpkin things, and so there's a little game theory in this, there's maybe a little luck, but, I'm gonna give you things, and you need to tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 based on, how you like
Oh,
them. So it's all pumpkin related, not
okay.
all food necessarily, but all
Okay.
pumpkin related.
All right. So I do have a category. It is pumpkin
Addition, yep.
related things. Okay.
Alright, so rank these 1 to 5 blindly pumpkin edition.
Okay.
First off, pumpkin pie.
Oh, starting strong. Wow. Um, can I imagine anything pumpkin related better than pumpkin pie? I can. Um, well, pumpkin pie is really good. I'm gonna go.
But you don't know if those other things are necessarily on the list?
I know, I know. Um, I'm gonna go 2 for pumpkin pie. It is the second best of these 5 pumpkin related things.
So what do you go do you go, whipped cream, Cool Whip, ice cream, just plain?
I'm fine with plain. Of the options you just levied at me, I would go vanilla ice cream if it's available.
Wow. Is there another option of the options I gave you? Is there
I mean,
a
you said
4th?
whipped cream.
Yeah, I know, but I gave you 3 things. Is there a 4th thing that you're putting on top of pumpkin pie?
Oh, cinnamon. I don't know.
Alright. So, uh, you put it number 2?
Yes,
Alright, so pumpkin pie is in the number 2 slot. Alright, next, pumpkin picking. So you just talked you
pumpkin
went apple
picking.
picking? Yep, so, hayride out to the pumpkin patch, looking around, trying to find your, the one you're gonna take home.
Okay, I will say for my wife who's listening that I enjoy pumpkin picking with the family because it's an activity that we get to do as a family. Uh,
But
but as a general activity, I think it's pretty overrated. To hop on the like, I'd rather just buy the pumpkin. Like, there's nothing cool about going to this field where they've already been disconnected from the vine. Like, you literally could have just brought them over to this barn, and I could have picked one out there. But instead, you didn't even put hay on this hay ride. Okay, so I'm gonna I- I'm gonna go 4 for this one.
okay, pumpkin picking number 4.
Yes.
Would you rather everyone get a machete and you go out there and
Yes. Make us
chop it
work
off
for it.
yourself?
Like cutting down your own Christmas tree, you know? A thing we also don't do.
Alright, next, uh, PSL, pumpkin spice latte.
Mm. So this go we kind of had this conversation already. I'm not a hater, but just by nature of I don't drink coffee, I think this has to be 5 for
Alright.
me.
So we got pumpkin pie 2, pumpkin picking 4,
Yep.
pumpkin spice latte 5. All
Yes.
right, next, pumpkin carving.
Oh, pumpkin carving. Oh man, and there's only one more left. Do I automatically put whatever's left at number 1 blindly? Um No, I'm gonna go with pumpkin carving, number 1. I that's the tops because I think it's fun for everyone and all skill levels, you know? Like, you get to I mean, you get to use a knife, that's cool. You get to, like, play with the goo, and it's interactive, and even, like, if you're bad like, I'm not a very artistic person, and so but, like, that I do enjoy humor, so, like, just being able to make fun of me being bad at it, like, that's good, and then I really enjoy people who are very artistic, and they can make something awesome out of pumpkin carving, so I'm going pumpkin carving, number 1, good for all skill levels, and ages,
All right,
though some adult supervision required.
so the last one that is slotting into your number 3 spot, pumpkin ice cream.
Okay, I'm all right with that ranking.
All right, so you had pumpkin carving 1, pumpkin pie 2, pumpkin ice cream 3, pumpkin picking 4, and PSL at 5. You happy with your ranking?
I am. I don't know that they would be much different if I rank them
Oh.
eyes wide open.
Oh, good job. So that was rank these 1 to 5 blindly. All right, got one more game for you.
Okay.
This game is called Did they pumpkin spice it?
Oh, yes. That's my answer actually for every round is yes.
All right, so I'm going to give you an item, and you're gonna have to tell me, does this actually exist?
Okay.
And they are all pumpkin spice or pumpkin pie spice, which is, I guess, the more correct term. There's not actually pumpkin in,
Mhm.
I think, anything that's called pumpkin
Right.
spice. It's
Pumpkins don't really have a spice. Pumpkins are
they,
pretty bland.
yeah, they're gourds. Um, oh, and that's another. Look this up for yourself. Pumpkin pie does not actually have pumpkin in it.
Whoa.
It's a different, like, it's a gourd, it's not necessarily a pumpkin that they use in that, like, linse, like, pumpkin pie filling, but
We're on to you.
you can just look that up for yourself. Alright, so number 1, we have Bush pumpkin spice dog beer. Does it exist? Did they pumpkin spice it?
Wait. Okay. So Bush the beer, I was like my brain was already prepared for Bush's baked beans. And then
No,
when you said dog, I didn't even like skip a beat because they have like the golden retriever as their mascot.
like
But
Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch, um, I mean, I know that there are pumpkin flavored beers, but
Is there a dog beer?
is there a dog beer? Wait, is it for dogs? I'm confused. I'm gonna say that they did because otherwise I don't know why I'd be on this list.
Well, we'll see. Yes, there is
Woo!
a pumpkin spice dog beer, um, that Bush makes that
All
you can
right.
get for your dog.
Thanks,
I
Anheuser-Busch.
I think it's non-alcoholic, I hope anyway. Alright, next one, pumpkin spice Listerine mouth
Uh,
strips.
mouth strips specifically.
Yeah, like the
I
little
love
things
this.
that
Yeah, I know what we're talking about here. I'm going to hope that this is not real. They did not pumpkin spice this.
you are correct, 2 for 2, they
Whew.
did not pumpkin spice the Listerine mouth strips. Next up, we have Hefty cinnamon pumpkin spice ultra strong trash bags.
Okay, real quick scented trash bag story. I bought them one time because I'm like, this seems like a good idea. Don't want the trash to smell bad. Cover it up with something good. And my wife Leah, who is very nose sensitive, like she smells lots of things. She's like, do not ever buy scented trash bags ever again. Like they're terrible by themselves, and then when you mix trash, it's just even worse. Then I don't know, some years later, she buys scented trash bags. And I'm like, why did you do this? You don't like them. She's like, is that true? And then like 2 days later, she's like, yeah, this is terrible. I can't believe I did this. Anyway, I'm going to say that this is a thing that has happened. I think there are pumpkin spice scented trash bags.
They did pumpkin spice it,
Jerks. What a
uh
dumb idea.
pumpkin spice, cinnamon pumpkin spice, ultra strong, Hefty, not a sponsor, yet. Alright, next we have you ever heard of dude wipes?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they are, wipes for your nether regions.
Right.
Uh, did they pumpkin spice it? Dumpkin
Oh, man.
spice wipes from Dude
Oh.
Wipes, not a sponsor.
Oh, man. This feels like something that definitely has happened, but I do not want it to have happened. So I'm going to say that they did not pumpkin spice it.
This started out as an April Fool's picture, but they then
Yeah.
actually did
Yep.
pumpkin spice it.
Yeah. They got
Dumpkin
somebody
spice.
double dog dared them.
Yeah. Dumpkin spice. Well, that's the thing, like, for, youth group memes, I put out, these, April Fool's candle scents
Yes, yes, yes,
of,
yes.
like, the boys' dorm,
Right.
Gaga Pit or whatever, and then people are like, "Are these real? You should actually make these." And I'm like, "I am not going into the candle business."
Right.
But Dude Wipes,
All right. That was the
Dumpkin.
first one I got wrong.
Next, we have Nature's Promise organic chicken, sausage, pumpkin spice flavored.
It's chicken sausage that's pumpkin spice flavored.
Yes, organic chicken sausage from Nature's Promise?
Um, oh man, they did not pumpkin spice it.
Oh, they did pumpkin spice it, Dave.
What, chicken sausage?
Yes.
Why? What are we doing? What? Who am I to say?
Live your life,
Live your life if you want
unless
to
it's
eat some
boardwalk
pumpkin
pizza.
spice chicken
What if it's
sausage.
Manco and Manco pumpkin spice?
Uh, sure. Then I'm on board.
All right, next, 2 more. Pringles pumpkin pie spice potato chips. Did they
Okay,
pumpkin spice it?
I I think I think no, they did not.
Dave, they pumpkin spiced it.
I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Got one wrong. I'm still thinking about the man wipes.
The
It's got me off
dumpkin
my game.
spice.
The Dumpkins.
Yeah. All right, last one. Pumpkin spice flavored Peeps.
Yeah, they did this.
They pumpkin
Yeah,
spiced it.
absolutely.
Uh, so, last question. Have they gone too far?
There is no ceiling, Dan. There we cannot until we pumpkin spice the moon, we have not gone too far.
I think that is actually the gospel according to pumpkin. That it's not the gospel isn't just something for us to hold on to.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not just something for one season. Like you're complaining that there's, pumpkin stuff, in summer. Who are we
yeah.
to hold this back?
Yes. A little yeast leavens the whole bread, right? As Jesus says. I think a little pumpkin spice, it just work its way into everything. Like just let it happen.
Yeah. And so that's maybe the gospel that we don't need to have Christian bands, we don't need to have Christian clothing, that everything should just be, in Christ,
Right.
who's in all and through all. That we with the gospel should be like these pumpkin spice marketers that are just infiltrating into every aspect of culture with the gospel.
Yes. Yes. I that is almost too apt of a comparison, but
You know how the sometimes CEOs, if they like are doing a good job, or like football coaches, if a college football coach does a really good job, usually he gets an opportunity to coach professional, like in the
yes.
NFL, right? I think the marketing person for cranberries uh, got a big job offer. So Cran Man was out there,
Yeah, yeah.
cran grape juice, cran apple. He was
Mhm.
in everything. And the big pumpkin spice lobbyers were like, we need this guy on our team.
That
They gave him a blank check and they said, Cran Man, come work for us. You name your price. We need your skill.
I like it. If you can't beat them, have them join you.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. It's good. It's good
And
good work by Big Pumpkin there.
And so every time this season you see a pumpkin spice flavored thing in the grocery store, in your big box stores, uh, think about how you can be the spice, how you can be the salt uh, in this world and spread the gospel in such a way that everybody would hear it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the tea gathers out there for making the gospel according to community so great. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms that have existed or have ever existed or might not exist in the future. Facebook, X, TikTok, Threads. Watch us on YouTube uh, or follow us on Patch
Oh, yeah,
at
yeah.
TGAT Podcast. Thank you for sharing the gospel according to sharing in such a way like the Pumpkin Spice Man has with all your friends, and for following Jesus.
Well done. Well done. Yes, thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can reach out on those socials. You can just meet us down at the pumpkin patch and ask us, and we'll be happy to answer. Or you can email us at tgat at nope. You can email us tgatpod at gmail.com. And we will happily read that question here on air or not. happily, but we'll do it anyway. So send us your questions and we will answer them. Um, and make sure that you're doing your part to obey the Great Commission and helping us spread the gospel according to podcast. And one great way to do that is just playing it on your phone while on the hayride to the pumpkin
Mhm.
patch.
Bring a
As loud
Bluetooth
as
speaker.
Bluetooth speaker. Yep. That way, not just your cart. Sometimes they like do the double
Mm,
wagons, that way the wagon in front can hear it as well. Um, and if you're not ready to do that, then you can just leave us a 5-star rating and review and send us a screenshot after you've done that, because that will get you in the running for our gift card giveaway from PDQ, and you can go get a pumpkin hand spun milkshake. But leave that review and we'll read that review here on air. Thank you for tuning in to your favorite Hump Day podcast. This was the Gospel According to Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Woo, pumpkin.
David S. Pumpkins.
We are your one-stop shop for pop culture and Christianity, and also your one-stop shop for fall.
Yeah.
You
No, I meant, are you a fall guy? Like you'll take the blame for something? Because I just had a run in with the cops, and I needed to know if you'll be.
Yes, as boardwalk style pizza, you should be locked up, straight to jail. Pumpkin
What-
spice Twizzlers, sure.
Live your life.
Who am I?
Yeah. So,
Yes, I'm gonna edit that so that I knew that right away.
that's perfect.
I think we did it. And Ethel, for once, will be proud of us. This isn't that kind of podcast, but
When's that podcast drop?
the gospel according to the reproductive system.